Hey, how's it going? My name is Brennan. I'm the product specialist for HEADRUSH Pedalboard in Canada. And today I'm going to do a couple rigs and just show you how to put stuff together. It's really liberating to use this piece, and I want to show you how quick it is to get started. I look forward to doing this and seeing the comments and questions below. I really want to see how you would have done it differently. I want to see what effects you would like me to try out, because I'm always doing future videos, right? I do these sort of starting ones, and then it's all about whatever you want to see. So I'm going to go to new rig here on my HEADRUSH Pedalboard, and I'm going to pick a slot to put in my first amp. I'm going to pick this section right here, and I picked that slot for a reason, but I'm going to show you why a little bit later in the video. And I'm going to start by picking an amp, or actually let's go up here, amp, there we go. And let's see, let's pick, there's a lot of options. So just so you can see how much stuff there is on here, it's quite a bit. Let's try this MS30. So when I open up an amp, it's going to have the cab automatically that should come with it. If I want to change the cab, I just double tap on it, and now I can select my cab type and then move through and have a different head with a different type of cab. So if I wanted a, let's say, a classic 30 watt 4x12, then I have that set up. What you're going to find is when you initially load up an amp and a cab, it's going to need to be dialed up a bit, because it's essentially like buying a brand new amp in the store. All the dials are set to how they ship when it's a factory setting. So I'm going to hold down amp here for a sec, and now every parameter that's inside of that is now laid out for me. So if I play, I'll hear my tone, and so if this was on the ground, I'm doing it obviously on my table today, but I can use my pedal to kind of dial in whatever sound I want. Now, if my foot's a little bit shaky, if I want to be really refined with that approach, then what you can do is you can push the plus here and just do small values or minus on the other side. So let's get the amp sort of into a good spot first. Let's check out where that cut is. I'm going to roll off the bass just a touch. And I'm going to press exit, and now I'm going to go and take a look at the cab settings. So now inside of the cab, I can work on whether or not the microphone is on axis or off axis. I can work on how old the amp is, so where it's going to break up. A little bit dirtier there. And I can work on my gain structure a little bit more. So let's go up. Great, now we'll do the amp gain. Whoa, it's a bit much, let's dial it back. So there's tone from one amp. Now I have a lot of slots still available, and now I'm going to show you why I picked that particular slot. If I tap right here, I'm going to do a split down the middle, and now because I picked that slot, it automatically ended up here. Now I can position that really anywhere that I want it to be, so I can always make that adjustment afterwards if I didn't at the start. But I really like to do it that way, because then I can just focus on tone and not worry about positioning. So now I'm going to touch up top, and I'm going to say to it, okay, I want to do another amp, and this time let's do a Tweed Deluxe. Now, I'm going to hear that first amp quite a bit because I dialed it up. So I can turn off amp 1 and cab 1, and then just hear the tone of the new Tweed that I just opened up. So I'm going to hold down this, and I'm going to say, okay, instrument volume. Let's bring that up here. I'm going to work on the tone. So you can see everything's set to like 50, so it's not quite where I'd want it to be off the top. So I have to make these little adjustments. But of course, afterwards, I can save them all and have them set up exactly how I want them to be. So there's my amp gain. Yeah, it's going to sound good. Let's just add a bit more breakup. Now, to really understand the tone of this, I'm trying to record this as high quality as possible, but to understand the tone, you really have to play it for yourself, because there's something in how it plays back and how it pushes that air directly into what you're doing. Now that I have both of these cabs and heads set up, I want to do some changes to it, and I want to have it so I have a single foot switch. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I did this in another video, but I'm just going to assume that maybe you didn't see that one. So here's another one that you can check out. I'm going to go to Hardware Assign, and I'm going to take my amp 1 and cab 1, and I'm just going to, or sorry, amp 1 and amp 2, and I'm going to drag it up to the top slot right here. You can see how that moves from one to the other. And now I'm going to touch on the toggle where it says toggle, and I'm going to go and change it until it says scene. So I'm just multi-tapping there. And when I press edit, I can now say for scene 1, we're going to turn on amp 1 and cab 1 and turn off amp 2 and cab 2. So essentially I just made a foot switch for 2 different parameters are in there, and really any effect, anything I have inside can have a foot switch assigned to it. So let's go to edit on scene 2, and I'm going to do the exact opposite. And let's see, I'm going to call, I'm just going to leave it called scene 1 and scene 2, but you can see that if I tap where it says scene 1, I can change the name of it. So I can customize this to do whatever I want to do. So let's go back, and now I'm going to have this foot switch. And there's scene 2. And there's scene 1. So now I have 2 different setups inside the same rig. So now I want to add some effects into the chain just to have an extra bit of tonality. And I want to show you something cool that I learned last week. I was at Port Coquitlam, and I was talking to AJ, who's a really gifted guitarist that works there, and he wanted to see if it would do this thing, and I was really happy to see that it does. I'd never even thought of this before, so let's check it out. I'm going to tap here just before it gets to the amps, because there's a split right after, and I'm going to go and I'm going to pick a delay. Let's do something. Let's do the BBD delay. And I'm going to go echo long. It really doesn't matter what I pick because I'm going to dial it up to my own preference. So here's the thing. I want to use that delay as a performance tool. I want to have it do something other than just be a delay. I'm going to actually turn it off right now just by pushing that button. Nice and clean. So what I want to do is I want to take the feedback here. I'm going to go to 100%, which always scares me whenever I see that. And I'm going to go mix. I'm going to crank that up a bit as well. And if I tap here, I can go and see the different parameters. I can turn on my sync. So if I tap tempo, it's going to match the tempo. And I can even add a bit of hiss to it as well if I want to. Now, there's 2 different ways to dial up stuff. I could have also held down this button here and then had that available for my foot switch. But of course, it's set up on the tabletop. So that's a little bit easier to do. So now, this thing is a beast. If I turned it on right now, it would just feedback over and over again. It would sound really not very playable, not very usable. But AJ had me check out this thing. So I'm going to go on the top here, and I'm going to go to Hardware Assign. And for that BBD delay, instead of having it a toggle, I'm going to do it as a hold. What that means is that if I do a chord, and I hold it down, it just will do an automatic delay until I release. Obviously, if it was on the floor, I could really use that to like augment stuff. I'm going to do some hammers and show you how that sounds now. So let's go up here, and I'm going to go at the same time. So it's really a lot of fun. And of course, you can have a long delay, you can have a short delay, you can really take that tone and have it however you want to. Of course, you can toggle any other effect that you want to as well. So I want you to start thinking about that, because there's some real creative applications that can be accomplished with that. And because I put that, let's go back to the main screen, because I put that in front of where the split happens, that means that if I turn on scene 2, it's still going to work the same there too. So So yeah, thanks a lot, AJ. That was really cool. I'm really, that's one of the best things about my job is that I get to go and travel and visit with really experienced players and musicians and get their insight into these products because there's so many different ways to use these applications. So now that I have this set up, I want to add a volume pedal to it. So I'm going to tap right here on the back end and I'm going to go expression. And let's pick the volume pedal. So now, if I go default linear, now I have that volume control. I want to add some more tone to it as well. I want to add some reverb to it, but I want to have the pedal assigned to control that. So, and actually maybe not even reverb. Let's see what's inside of here because I have some videos already where I show the reverb. So let's go before the split. I'm going to go distortion and let's pick the green JRC OD. And I'm going to go for a bright fuzz with that. I like how that sounds there. Let's see how it sounds on scene 1. That's pretty cool. Now, if I hold down this button again for a moment, I can see the different parameters that are available. I have tone, level, and drive. Of course, level. So let's say that I was performing and I wanted to have some extra control over that distortion, and I don't want to have to menu dive to do that. I don't want to have to bend over to do that. I can assign any parameter from anything that I put into here onto the expression pedal. If I push this pedal forward all the way, you'll see it goes to pedal bank B. You'll also notice that it turns off the volume A there, so you can see it's back on. And now it's off again. So it has that control to it. Now I want to do something with the pedal B. So I'm going to go here again to hardware assign. And I'm going to switch out from being on pedal A to pedal B. And I can change how many parameters I have available. So if I change it from classic, I now have 4 slots. So I can do 4 different things simultaneously on any given pedal. I just want the one for this. So I'm going to touch here. And then I'm going to go say, okay, JRC OD, and we're going to go drive. And so now, let's turn up my guitar. So if I push in here, it's going to turn off the distortion pedal. If I push it in, now it's on, and I have that drive amount. So yeah, there's a quick little patch. There's still some slots left. I can put in whatever parameters I want to. Actually, let's do some other fun stuff inside of here. So I'm going to go one more slot pre-amp, and as in before amp, not mic pre, right? So now I'm going to go and pick, let's see, modulation. I really like rotary. I've done this on some other videos too, but I really love how this foam drum sounds. But the problem with it is that I want to have it set up so that I have the speed available, the speed of that rotary. So I'm going to go up to the top here, and I'm going to say again, hardware assign. And I'm going to say on this slot here, instead of being the rotary, actually I want to have an on-off switch. So let's go to cab 1, because I'm not going to do anything with that after it's set up. So I'm going to say for where the buttons are, I want to do rotary, and I want to do speed. So now I have the speed set up, and I can take this and drag it up here. The green is the JRC OD is down below. So if I go back to my main screen, now I have the ability to do speed up or slow down. one more thing is that you can hear how the gate is cutting off the volume there. So I'm going to go to my input section, tap there, and just turn down my gate threshold. So now I give a nice volume control here, and it's not going to gate. So yeah, thanks a lot for checking out this video. I have a bunch of other content on this site. Right now, it's probably more important than ever to subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying the content, because YouTube has changed their rules. I need to get my numbers up if I still want to have this monetizing. So if you don't mind doing me a solid and just clicking on that subscribe now button, you'd be doing me, yeah, I'd be really appreciative for that. Thank you very much for watching this video. All my other videos, comments are always appreciated. No matter what you have to say, negative, positive, please let me know, because I want to get better at this. I want to make sure that these videos are on point for what you want to see. Thanks again.